All right, we are coming up on 8 o'clock, so let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Welcome back. This is our 6th reading from Morte to Arthur, the probably one of the more famous, or maybe one of the more authoritative sources of Arthurian lore. And as we are finding out, it's basically a fanfic. Yep, that's right. We're reading an Arthurian fanfic. How else are you going to explain Arthur conquering the Roman Empire in, like the 1400s or so? And also, at the same time, fighting Saracens from, around the Crusades. It's best not to ask questions. If we accept it as rule of cool, maybe it works, right? Anyway, so at the end of last time, we started to get into the adventures of Arthur's knights and their quests across the realm, and how Gawain is usually failing upward. And now we're following Sir Lancelot, the greatest of all knights to ever knight? So, let's continue to follow Lancelot and his adventures across the realm and see what sort of trouble he can get into, and whether he'll continue to tell everyone that he's really Sir Kay and send all his prisoners back to Guinevere to say that Sir Kay sent them. No, everyone really knows it's not. And everyone also really wonders why he keeps sending all his prisoners to Guinevere. There you go. Yep. Don't gotta explain shit. Alright, so let's go ahead and jump right back into it then. We are just south of 50% of the way through this book, so we've got a fair bit ahead of us still. This is turning out to be a longer escapade than I originally thought, which is kind of nice. A longer series like this is kind of fun sometimes. So let's resume now with chapter 16. How Lancelot, at the request of a lady, recovered a falcon, by which he was deceived. And so Sir Lancelot rode through many strange countries, over marshes and valleys, till by fortune he came to a fair castle, and as he passed beyond the castle, him thought he heard 2 bells ring. And then was he ware of a falcon came flying over his head toward a high elm, and long lunes about her feet. And as she flew unto the elm to take her perch, the lunes overcast about her bow. And when she would have taken her flight, she hung by the legs fast. And Sir Lancelot saw how she hung, and beheld the fair falcon parrot, and he was sorry for her. The meanwhile came a lady out of the castle, and cried on high, "O Lancelot, Lancelot, as thou art flower of all knights, help me to get my hawk. For an my hawk be lost, my lord will destroy me. For I kept the hawk, and she slipped from me. And if my lord, my husband, wit it is he, is so hasty, that he will slay me." "What is your lord's name?" said Sir Lancelot. "Sir," she said, "his name is Sir Felot, a knight that longeth unto the knight of Northgales." "Well, fair lady, since that ye know my name, and require me of knighthood to help you, I will do what I may to get your hawk. And yet God knoweth, I am an ill climber, and the tree is passing high, and few boughs to help me withal." And therewith Sir Lancelot alighted, and tied his horse to the same tree, and prayed the lady to unarm him. And so, when he was unarmed, he put off all his clothes unto his shirt and breech, and with might and force he clomb up to the fountain, and tied the lines to a great rotten bush, and threw the hawk down and it withal. Anon, the lady gat the hawk in her hand, and therewithal came out Sir Felot out of the grove suddenly, and was her husband, all armed, and with his naked sword in his hand, and said, "O knight Lancelot, now have I found thee as I would, and stood at the bole of the tree to slay him." "Ah, lady," said Sir Launcelot, why have ye betrayed me? She hath done, said Sir Phelot, but as I commanded her, and therefore there is none other boot but thine hour is come that thou must die. That were shame unto thee, said Sir Launcelot, thou an armed knight to slay a naked man by treason. Thou gettest none other grace, said Sir Phelot, and therefore help thyself and thou canst. Truly, said Sir Launcelot, that shall be thy shame. But since thou wilt do none other, take mine harness with thee, and hang my sword upon a bough that I may get it, and then do thy best to slay me, and thou canst. Nay, nay, said Sir Phelot, for I know thee better than thou weenest. Therefore thou gettest no weapon, and I may keep you therefrom. Alas, said Sir Launcelot, that ever a knight should die weaponless. Yep, I think I may have hit the wrong button there. That was trying to turn off the cat display and hit the mic instead. Teaches me to not pay attention to what buttons I'm pressing on the Stream Deck. We probably went. When was that? Let's just take it from the top of the paragraph there. Anon the lady gat the hawk in her hand, and therewithal came out Sir Phelot out of the grove suddenly, that was her husband, all armed, with his naked sword in his hand, and said, O knight Launcelot, now have I found thee as I would, and stood at the bole of the tree to slay him. Ah, lady, said Sir Launcelot, why have ye betrayed me? She hath done, said Sir Phelot, but as I commanded her. And therefore there is none other boot but thine hour is come that thou must die. That were shame unto thee, said Sir Launcelot, thou an armed knight to slay a naked man by treason. Thou gettest none other grace, said Sir Phelot, and therefore help thyself, and thou canst. Truly, said Sir Launcelot, that shall be thy shame. But since thou wilt do none other, take mine harness with thee, and hang my sword upon a bough that I may get it, and then do thy best to slay me, and thou canst. Nay, nay, said Sir Phelot, for I know thee better than thou weenest. Therefore thou gettest no weapon, and I may keep you therefrom. Alas, said Sir Launcelot, that ever a knight should die weaponless. And therewith he awaited above him, and under him, and over his head he saw a rowan spick, a big bough, leafless, and therewith he brake it off by the body. Then he came lower and waited how his own horse stood, and suddenly he leapt on the further side of the horse, froward the knight. And then Sir Phelot lashed at him eagerly, weening to have slain him. Sir Launcelot put away the stroke with the rowan spick, and therewith he smote him on the one side of the head, that he fell down in a swoon to the ground. So then Sir Launcelot took his sword out of his hand, and struck his neck from the body. Then cried the lady, Alas! Why hast thou slain my husband? I am not the causer, said Sir Launcelot, for with falsehood ye would have slain me with treason, and now it is fallen on you both. And then she swooned as though she would die, and therewithal Sir Launcelot gat all his armour as well as he might, put it upon him for dread of more resort, for he dreaded that the knight's castle was so nigh. And so, as soon as he might, he took his horse and departed, and thanked God that he had escaped that adventure. Brings us to the end of chapter 16. And that lady, it's a little unrealistic there to be like, oh, why'd you kill my husband? Because he tried to ambush you in a tree. Hi, Zeta. Hey, good time. You're not too late even. Just a chapter behind. Alright, let's continue now with chapter 17. How Sir Lancelot overtook a knight which chased his wife to have slain her, and how he said to him. So Sir Lancelot rode many wild ways, throughout marches in many wild ways. And as he rode in a valley, he saw a knight chasing a lady with a naked sword to have slain her. And by fortune, as this knight should have slain this lady, she cried on Sir Lancelot and prayed him to rescue her. When Sir Lancelot saw that mischief, he took his horse and rode between them, saying, Knight, fie for shame! Why wilt thou slay this lady? Thou dost shame unto thee and all knights. What hast thou to do betwixt me and my wife? Said the knight. I will slay her, mar thy head. That shall ye not, said Sir Lancelot, for rather we two will have ado together. Sir Lancelot, said the knight, thou dost not thy part, for this lady hath betrayed me. It is not so, said the lady. Truly, he saith wrong on me. And because I love and cherish my cousin Germain, he is jealous betwixt him and me. And as I shall answer to God, there was never sin betwixt us. But sir, said the lady, as thou art called the worshipfullest knight of the world, I require thee of true knighthood. Keep me and save me, for whatsoever ye say, he will slay me, for he is without mercy. Have ye no doubt, said Lancelot, it shall not lie in his power. Sir, said the knight, in your sight I will be ruled as ye will have me. And so Sir Lancelot rode on the one side, and she on the other. He had not ridden but a while, but the knight bade Sir Lancelot turn him and look behind him, and said, Sir, yonder come men of arms after us riding. And so Sir Lancelot turned him, and thought no treason. And therewith was the knight and the lady on one side, and suddenly he swapped off his lady's head. When Sir Lancelot had espied him what he had done, he said and called him, Traitor! Thou hast shamed me forever! And suddenly Sir Lancelot alighted off his horse, and pulled out his sword to slay him, and therewithal he fell flat to the earth. And he gripped Sir Lancelot by the thighs, and cried, Mercy! Fie on thee, said Sir Lancelot, thou shameful knight! Thou mayest have no mercy, and therefore arise and fight with me. Nay, said the knight, I will never arise till ye grant me mercy. Now will I proffer thee fair, said Lancelot. I will unarm me unto my shirt, and I will have nothing upon me but my shirt, and my sword in my hand. And if thou canst slay me, quit be thou forever. Nay, sir, said Pedivere, that will I never. Well, said Sir Lancelot, take this lady and the head, and bear it upon thee, and here shalt thou swear upon my sword to bear it always upon thy back, and never to rest till thou come to Queen Guinevere. Sir, said he, that will I do, and by the faith of my body. Now, said Lancelot, tell me, what is your name? Sir, my name is Pedivere. In a shameful hour wert thou born, said Lancelot. Damn. So Pedivere departed, with the dead lady and the head, and found the queen with King Arthur at Winchester, and there he told all the truth. Sir knight, said the queen, this is a horrible deed, and shameful, and a great rebuke unto Sir Lancelot, but notwithstanding his worship is not known in many diverse countries. But this shall I give you in penance. Make ye as good shift as ye can, and ye shall bear this lady with you on horseback unto the Pope of Rome, and of him receive your penance for your foul deeds. And ye shall never rest one night whereas ye do another, and ye go to any bed the dead body shall lie with you. This oath there he made, and so departed. And as it telleth in the French book, when he came to Rome, the Pope bade him go again unto Queen Guinevere. And in Rome was his lady buried by the Pope's commandment. And after this, Sir Bedivere fell to great goodness, and was a holy man, and a hermit. Alright, now we have the last chapter of Lancelot's adventures here. Chapter 18. How Sir Lancelot came to King Arthur's court, and how there were recounted all his noble feats and acts. Now we turn unto Sir Launcelot de Lake, that came home 2 days afore the feast of Pentecost, and the king and all the court were passing fain of his coming. And when Sir Gawain, Sir Ewain, and Sir Sagramore, Sir Ector de Maris saw Sir Launcelot in Kay's armor, then they wist well it was he that smote them down all with one spear. Then there was laughing and smiling among them. And ever now and now came all the knights home that Sir Turquine had prisoners, and they all honored and worshipped Sir Launcelot. When Sir Gaheris heard them speak, he said, I saw all the battle from the beginning to the ending. And there he told King Arthur all how it was, and how Sir Turquine was the strongest knight that ever he saw, except Sir Launcelot. There were many knights bear him record, nigh 70. Then Sir Kay told the king how Sir Launcelot had rescued him when he should have been slain, and how he made the knights yield them to me, and not to him. And there they were all three, and bare record. And by Jesu, said Sir Kay, because Sir Launcelot took my harness, and left me his, I rode in good peace, and no man would have ado with me. Anon therewithal, there came the 3 knights that fought with Sir Launcelot at the long bridge, and there they yielded them unto Sir Kay, and Sir Kay forsook them, and said he fought never with them. But I shall ease your heart, said Sir Kay. Yonder is Sir Launcelot that overcame you. When they wist that, they were glad. And then Sir Meliot de Logre came home, and told the king how Sir Launcelot had saved him from the death, and all his deeds were known, how 4 queens, sorceresses, had him in prison, and how he was delivered by King Bagdemagus' daughter. Also there were told all the great deeds of arms that Sir Launcelot did betwixt the 2 kings. That is for to say, the King of Northgalis and King Bagdemagus. All the truth Sir Gahalantine did tell, and Sir Mador de la Porte, and Sir Mordred, for they were at that same tournament. Then came in the lady that knew Sir Launcelot when that he wounded Sir Bellius at the pavilion, and there, at request of Sir Launcelot, Sir Bellius was made Knight of the Round Table. And so, at that time, Sir Launcelot had the greatest name of any knight of the world, and most he was honored of high and low. Explicit, the noble tale of Sir Launcelot de Lake, which is the 6th book. Here followeth the tale of Sir Gareth of Orkney, that was called Beaumains by Sir Kay, and is the 7th book. So, yeah, so that's... Lancelot had his own little adventures there. There was, just a little bit of exhibitionism, I should say. There's what? He swapped clothes with one guy. He was half naked up a tree in another. Randomly is like, oh yeah, if you won't fight me, I'll strip, and then we'll fight. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Something about this guy and just dropping trow, I guess. It is what it is. Alright, so let's continue now with Book 7. Chapter 1. How Beaumains came to King Arthur's court, and demanded 3 petitions of King Arthur. When Arthur held his round table most plenor, it fortuned that he commanded that the high feast of Pentecost should be holden at a city and a castle, the which in those days was called Kenadon, upon the sands that marched nigh Wales. So ever the king had a custom that at the feast of Pentecost in especial, before other feasts in the year, he would not go that day to meat until he had heard or seen of a great marvel. And for that custom, all manner of strange adventures came before Arthur, as at that feast before all other feasts. So Sir Gawain, a little to forenoon of the day of Pentecost, espied at a window 3 men upon horseback, and a dwarf on foot. And so the 3 men alighted, and the dwarf kept their horses, and one of the 3 men was higher than the other twain by 1.5 foot. Then Sir Gawain went unto the king and said, Sir, go to your meat, for here at the hand come strange adventures. So Arthur went unto his meat with many other kings, and there were all the knights of the Round Table, save only those that were prisoners or slain at a rencounter. Then at the high feast evermore they should be fulfilled the whole number of 150, for then was the Round Table fully accomplished. Right so came into the hall 2 men, well beseen and richly, and upon their shoulders there leaned the goodliest young man and the fairest that ever they all saw. And he was large and long and broad in the shoulders, and well visaged, and the fairest and the largest handed that ever man saw. But he fared as though he might not go, nor bear himself, but if he leaned upon their shoulders. Anon, as Arthur saw him, there was made peace and room, and right so they yede with him unto the high dais, without saying of any words. Then this much young man pulled him aback, and easily stretched up straight, saying, King Arthur, God you bless, and all your fair fellowship, and in especial the fellowship of the Table Round. And for this cause I am come hither, to pray you and require you to give me 3 gifts, and they shall not be unreasonably asked, but that ye may worshipfully and honorably grant them me, and to you no great hurt nor loss. And the first dom and gift I will ask now, and the other 2 gifts I will ask this day 12-month, wheresoever ye hold your high feast. Now ask, said King Arthur, and ye shall have your asking. Now, sir, this is my petition for this feast, that ye will give me meat and drink sufficiently for this 12-month, and at that day I will ask mine other 2 gifts. My fair son, said Arthur, ask better, I counsel thee, for this is but a simple asking. For my heart giveth me to thee greatly, that thou art come of men of worship, and greatly my conceit faileth me, but thou shalt prove a man of right great worship. Sir, he said, thereof be it be may. I have asked that I will ask. Well, said the king, ye shall have meat and drink enough. I never defended that none, neither my friend nor my foe. But what is thy name, I would wit? I cannot tell you, said he. 'Tis marvel, said the king, that thou knowest not thy name, and thou art the goodliest young man that ever I saw. Then the king betook him to Sir Kay the steward, and charged him that he should give him all manner of meats and drinks of the best, and also that he had all manner of finding, as though he were a lord's son. That shall little need, said Sir Kay, to do such cost upon him, for I dare undertake he is a villain born, and never will make man. For, an he had come of gentlemen, he would have asked you of horse and armor. Such as he is, so he asketh. And sithen he hath no name, I shall give him a name that shall be Beaumain, that is fair hands. And into the kitchen I shall bring him, and there he shall have fat brose every day, that he shall be as fat by the 12-month's end as a pork hog. Right so the 2 men departed, and beleft him to Sir Kay, that scorned him and mocked him. Chapter 2. How Sir Launcelot and Sir Gawain were wroth because Sir Kay mocked Beaumain, and of a damsel, which desired a knight to fight for a lady, Thereat was Sir Gawain wroth, and in especial Sir Launcelot bade Sir Kay leave his mocking, for I dare lay my head he shall prove a man of great worship. Let be, said Sir Kay. It may not be by no reason, for as he is, so he hath asked. Beware, said Sir Launcelot, so ye gave the good knight Brunner, Sir Dinadan's brother, a name, and ye called him La Colt Mail Tail, and that turned you to anger afterward. As for that, said Sir Kay, this shall never prove none such. For Sir Brunner desired ever worship, and this desireth bread and drink and broth. Upon pain of my life he was fostered up in some abbey, and howsoever it was, they failed meat and drink, and so hither he is come for his sustenance. And so Sir Kay bade get him a place, and sit down to meat. So Beaumains went to the hall door, and set him down among boys and lads, and there he ate sadly. And then Sir Launcelot, after meat, bade him come to his chamber, and there he should have meat and drink enough. And so did Sir Gawain, but he refused them all. He would do none other but as Sir Kay commanded him, for no proffer. But as touching Sir Gawain, he had reason to proffer him lodging, meat, and drink, for that proffer came of his blood, for he was nearer kin to him than he wist. But that as Sir Launcelot did was of his great gentleness and courtesy. So thus he was put into the kitchen, and lay nightly as the boys of the kitchen did. And so he endured all that 12-month, and never displeased man nor child, but always he was meek and mild. But ever, when that he saw any jousting of knights, that would he see, and he might. And ever Sir Launcelot would give him gold to spend and clothes, and so did Sir Gawain. And where there were any masteries done, threat would he be, and thereat he would be. And there might none cast bar nor stone to him by 2 yards. Then would Sir Kay say, How liketh you my boy of the kitchen? So it passed on till the feast of Whitsuntide. And at that time the king held it at Carlion, in the most royalest wise that might be, like as he did yearly. But the king would no meat eat upon the Whitsunday, until he heard some adventures. Then came there a squire to the king, and said, Sir, ye may go down to your meat, for here cometh a damsel with some strange adventures. Then was the king glad, and sat him down. Right so there came a damsel into the hall, and saluted the king, and prayed him of succor. For whom? Said the king. What is the adventure? Sir, she said, I have a lady of great worship and renown, and she is besieged with a tyrant, so that she may not out of her castle. And because here are called the noblest knights of the world, I come to you to pray you of succor. What hight your lady, and where dwelleth she, and who is she, and what is his name that hath besieged her? Sir King, she said, as for my lady's name, that shall not ye know for me as at this time. But I let you wit she is a lady of great worship, and of great lands. And as for the tyrant that besiegeth her, and destroyeth her lands, he is called the Red Knight of the Red Lawns. I know him not, said the king. Sir, said Sir Gawain, I know him well, for he is one of the perilousest knights of the world. Men say that he hath 7 men's strength, and from him I escaped once full hard with my life. Fair damsel, said the king, there be knights here would do their power for to rescue your lady, but because you will not tell her name, nor where she dwelleth, therefore none of my knights that here be now shall go with you by my will. Then must I speak further, said the damsel. Chapter 3. How Beaumains desired the battle, and how it was granted to him, and how he desired to be made knight of Sir Launcelot. With these words came before the king Beaumains, while the damsel was there, and thus he said, Sir King, God thank you, I have been this 12-month in your kitchen, and have had my full sustenance, and now I will ask my 2 gifts that be behind. Ask, upon my peril, said the king. Sir, this shall be my 2 gifts. First, that he will grant me to have this adventure of the damsel, for it belongeth unto me. Thou shalt have it, said the king. I grant it thee. Then, sir, this is the other gift, that he shall bid Launcelot de Lake to make me knight, for of him I will be made knight, and else of none. And when I am past, I pray you, let him ride after me, and make me knight when I require him. All this shall be done, said the king. Fie on thee, said the damsel. Shall I have none other but one that is your kitchen page? Then was she wroth, and took her horse and departed. And with that there came one to Beaumains, and told him his horse and armor was come for him. There was the dwarf come with all thing that him needed, in the richest manner. Thereat all the court had much marvel, from whence came all that gear. So when he was armed, there was none but few so goodly a man as he was. And right so as he came into the hall, and took his leave of King Arthur, and Sir Gawain, and Sir Launcelot, and prayed that he would hie after him. And so departed, and rode after the damsel. Chapter 4. How Beaumains departed, and how he gat of Sir Kay a spear and shield, and how he jousted with Sir Launcelot. But there went many after to behold how well he was horsed and trapped in cloth of gold, but he had neither shield nor spear. Then Sir Kay said all open in the hall, I will ride after my boy in the kitchen, to wit, whether he will know me for his better. Said Sir Launcelot and Sir Gawain, Yet abide at home. So Sir Kay made him ready, and took his horse and his spear, and rode after him. And right as Beaumains overtook the damsel, right so came Sir Kay, and said, Beaumains, what, sir, know ye not me? Then he turned his horse, and knew it was Sir Kay, that had done him all the despot, as ye have heard afore. Yea, said Beaumains, I know you for an ungentle knight of the court, and therefore beware of me. Therewith Sir Kay put his spear in the rest, and ran straight upon him, and Beaumains came as fast upon him with his sword in his hand, and so he put away his spear with his sword, and that with a foin thrust him through the side, that Sir Kay fell down as he had been dead. And he alighted down, and took Sir Kay's shield and his spear, and stert upon his own horse, and rode his way. All that saw Sir Launcelot, and so did the damsel. And then he bade his dwarf stert upon Sir Kay's horse, and so he did. By that Sir Launcelot was come. Then he preferred Sir Launcelot to joust, and either made them ready, and they came together so fiercely that either bare down other to the earth, and sore were they bruised. Then Sir Launcelot arose and helped him from his horse. And then Beaumains threw his shield from him, and preferred to fight with Launcelot on foot. And so they rushed together like boars, tracing, racing, and foining to the mountenance of an hour. Then Sir Launcelot felt him so big that he marvelled of his strength, for he fought more like a giant than a knight, and that his fighting was durable and passing perilous. For Sir Launcelot had so much ado with him that he dreaded himself to be shamed, and said, Beaumains, fight not so sore. Your quarrel and mine is not so great, but we may leave off. Truly, that is truth, said Beaumains, but it doth me good to feel your might. And yet, my lord, I showed not the utterance. Chapter 5. How Beaumains told to Sir Launcelot his name, and how he was dubbed Knight of Sir Launcelot, and after overtook the damsel. In God's name, said Sir Launcelot, for I promise you, by the faith of my body, I had as much to do as I might to save myself from you unshamed, and therefore have ye no doubt of none earthly knight. Hope ye so that I may any while stand a proved knight, said Beaumains. Yea, said Launcelot, do as ye have done, and I shall be your warrant. Then I pray you, said Beaumains, give me the order of knighthood. Then must ye tell me your name, said Lancelot, and of what kin ye be born. Sir, so that ye will not discover me, I shall, said Beaumains. Nay, said Sir Lancelot, and that I promise you by the faith of my body, until it be openly known. Then, sir, he said, my name is Gareth, and brother unto Sir Gawain of father and mother. Ah, sir, said Sir Lancelot, I am more gladder of you than I was, for ever methought ye should be of great blood, and that ye came not to the court neither for meat nor for drink. And then Sir Lancelot gave him the order of knighthood, and then Sir Gareth prayed him for to depart, and let him go. So Sir Lancelot departed from him, and came to Sir Kay, and made him to be borne home upon his shield. And so he was healed hard with the life. And all men scorned Sir Kay, and in especial Sir Gawain and Sir Lancelot said it was not his part to rebuke no young man, for full little knew he of what birth he is come, and for what cause he came to this court. And so we leave Sir Kay, and turn we unto Beaumains. When he had overtaken the damsel, anon she said, What dost thou here? Thou stinkest all of the kitchen, thy clothes be bawdy of the grease and tallow that thou gainest in King Arthur's kitchens. Weenest thou, said she, that I allow thee for yonder knight that thou killest? Nay, truly, for thou slewest him unhappily and cowardly. Therefore turn again, bawdy kitchen page. I know thee well, for Sir Kay named thee Beaumains. What art thou but a lusk, and a turner of brooches, and a ladle washer? Damsel, said Beaumains, say to me what ye will. I will not go from you whatsoever ye say, for I have undertaken to King Arthur for to achieve your adventure, and so shall I finish it to the end. Either I shall die therefore. Fie on thee, kitchen knave! Wilt thou finish mine adventure? Thou shalt anon be met withal, that thou wouldest not for all the broth that ever thou suppest once look him in the face. I shall essay, said Beaumains. So thus, as they rode in the wood, there came a man flying all that ever he might. Whither wilt thou? Said Beaumains. O Lord, he said, help me, for here, by a slade, are 6 thieves that have taken my lord and bound him. So I am afeard lest they will slay him. Bring me thither, said Beaumains. And so they rode together, until they came thereas was the knight bounden. And then he rode unto them, and struck one unto the death, and then another, and at the 3rd stroke he slew the 3rd thief. And then the other 3 fled, and he rode after them, and he overtook them, and then those 3 thieves turned again, and assailed Beaumains hard. But at the last he slew them, and returned and unbound the knight. Then the knight thanked him, and prayed him to ride with him to his castle, there a little beside, and he should worshipfully reward him for his good deeds. Sir, said Beaumains, I will no reward have. I was this day made knight of noble Sir Lancelot, and therefore I will no reward have, but God reward me. And also, I must follow this damsel. And when he came nigh her, she bade him ride from her. For thou smellest of all the kitchen, weenest thou that I have joy of thee. For all this deed that thou hast done is but misshaped thee. But thou shalt see a sight shall make thee turn again, and that lightly. Then the same knight, which was rescued of the thieves, rode after that damsel, and prayed her to lodge with him all that night. And because it was near night, the damsel rode with him to his castle. And there they had great cheer. And at supper the knight sat Sir Beaumains afore the damsel. Fie, fie, said she, Sir knight, ye are uncourteous to set a kitchen page afore me. Him beseemeth better to sick a swine than to sit before a damsel of high parage. Then the knight was ashamed at her words, and took him up, and set him at sideboard, and set himself afore him. So all that night they had good cheer and merry rest. And so Gareth has decided that his first adventure is to put up with this Karen of a damsel. She came all the way to King Arthur's court, and she left with a page boy, a kitchen page. The absolute travesty of it all. Chapter 6. How Beaumains fought and slew 2 knights in a passage. And on the morn the damsel and he took their leave, and thanked the knight, and so departed, and rode on their way until they came to a great forest. And there was a great river, and but one passage. And there were ready 2 knights on the farther side to let them the passage. What sayest thou? Said the damsel. Wilt thou match yonder knights, or turn again? Nay, said Sir Beaumains, I will not turn again. And they were 6 more. Therewithal he rushed into the water, and in the midst of the water either brake their spears upon to their hands. And then they drew their swords, and smote eagerly at other. And at the last, Sir Beaumains smote the other upon the helm, that his head stonied. And therewithal he fell down in the water, and there was he drowned. And then he spurred his horse upon the land, where the other knight fell upon him, and brake his spear, so they drew their swords, and fought long together. And at the last, Sir Beaumains clave his helm and his head down to the shoulders. And so he rode unto the damsel, and bade her ride forth on her way. Alas, she said, that ever a kitchen page should have that fortune to destroy such 2 doughty knights. Thou weenest thou hast done doughtily. That is not so. For the first night his horse stumbled, and there he was drowned in the water, and never it was by thy force, nor by thy might. And the last night, by mishap, thou camest behind him, and mishappily thou slew him. Damsel, said Beaumains, ye may say what ye will, but with whomsoever I have ado withal, I trust to God to serve him, or he depart. And therefore I reck not what ye say, so that I may win your lady. Fie, fie, foul kitchen knave! Thou shalt see knights that shall abate thy boast. Fair damsel, give me goodly language, and then my care is past. For what knights somever they be, I care not, nor I doubt them not. Also, said she, I say it for thine avail. Yet mayest thou turn again with thy worship. For an thou follow me, thou art but slain. For I see all that ever thou dost is but by misadventure, and not by prowess of thy hands. Well, damsel, ye may say what ye will, but wheresoever ye go, I will follow you. So this Beaumains rode with that lady till evensong time, and ever she chid him, and would not rest. And they came to a black land. And there was a black hawthorn, and thereon hung a black banner, and on the other side there hung a black shield, and by it stood a black spear, great and long, and a great black horse covered with silk, and a black stone fast by. Beaumains, Gareth, has got all sorts of patience for this lady. Like, she is relentless in giving him the sharp side of her tongue. And he's just like, don't worry about it. I'm just gonna keep on keeping on. And this is Gawain's brother. These are like very, very different sorts of people. Gawain is definitely always up to misadventures and causing problems. And Gareth, so far, seems to be a bit more of a through and through knight. We'll see how long that keeps up, or if he'll fail back to treating as his blood does. We'll see. Chapter 7. How Beaumains fought with the Knight of the Black Lands, and fought with him till he fell down and died. There sat a knight all armed in black harness, and his name was the Knight of the Black Land. Then the damsel, when she saw that knight, she bade him flee down that valley, for his horse was not saddled. Mercy, said Beaumains, for always ye would have me a coward. With that the Black Knight, when she came nigh him, spake and said, Damsel, have ye brought this knight of King Arthur's to be your champion? Nay, fair knight, said she, this is but a kitchen knave that was fed in King Arthur's kitchen for alms. Why cometh he, said the knight, in such array? It is shame that he beareth you company. Sir, I cannot be delivered of him, said she, for with me he rideth maugre mine head. God would that ye should put him from me. Other to slay him, and ye may, for he is an unhappy knave, and unhappily he hath done this day. Through mishap I saw him slay 2 knights at the passage of the water, and other deeds he did before, right marvellous, and through unhappiness. That marvelleth me, said the Black Knight, that any man that is of worship will have ado with him. They know him not, said the damsel, and for because he rideth with me, they ween that he be of some man of worship born. That may be, said the Black Knight. Howbeit, as ye say, that he be no man of worship. He is a full likely person, and full like to be a strong man. But thus much shall I grant you, said the Black Knight. I shall put him down upon 1 foot, and his horse and his harness he shall leave with me, for it were shame to me to do him any more harm. When Sir Beaumains heard him say this, he said, Sir Knight, thou art full large of my horse and my harness. I let thee wit it cost thee not, and whether it liketh thee or not, this lawn will I pass maugre with thine head. And horse nor harness gettest thou none of mine, but if thou win them with thy hands, and therefore let's see what thou canst do. Sayest thou that, said the Black Knight, now yield thy lady from thee, for it beseemeth never a kitchen page to ride with such a lady. Thou liest, said Beaumains. I am a gentleman born, and of more high lineage than thou, and that will I prove on thy body. Then, in great wrath, they departed with their horses, and came together, as it had been the thunder, and the Black Knight's spear brake, and Beaumains thrust him through both his sides, and therewith his spear brake, and the truncheon left still in his side. But nevertheless, the Black Knight drew his sword, and smote many eager strokes, and of great might, and hurt Beaumains full sore. But at the last, the Black Knight, within an hour and a half, he fell down off his horse in swoon, and there he died. When Beaumains saw him so well horsed and armed, then he alighted down and armed him in his armor, so took his horse and rode after the damsel. When she saw him come nigh, she said, Away, kitchen knave, out of the wind, for the smell of thy bawdy clothes grieveth me. Alas, she said, that if such a knave should by mishap slay so good a knight as thou hast done. But all this is thine unhappiness. But hereby is one shall pay thee all thy payment, and therefore yet I counsel thee, flee. It may happen me, said Beaumains, to be beaten or slain, but I warn you, fair damsel, I will not flee away, nor leave your company. For all that ye can say, for ever ye say that they will kill me or beat me. But howsoever it happeneth, I escape, and they lie on the ground. And therefore it were as good for you to hold you still thus all day rebuking me, for alway will I not till I see the uttermost of this journey, or else I will be slain, other truly beaten. Therefore ride on your way, for follow you I will whatsoever happen. Well, that Black Knight got a little bit more than a flesh wound. Chapter 8. How the brother of the knight that was slain met with Beaumains, and fought with Beaumains till he was yielden. Thus, as they rode together, they saw a knight come driving by them, all in green, both his horse and his harness. And when he came nigh the damsel, he asked her, "Is that my brother, the Black Knight, that ye have brought with you?" "Nay, nay," said she, "this unhappy kitchen knave hath slain your brother through unhappiness." "Alas," said the Green Knight, "that is great pity, that so noble a knight as he should so unhappily be slain. And namely, of a knave's hand, as ye say that is." "Ah, traitor," said the Green Knight, "thou shalt die for slaying of my brother. He was a full noble knight, and his name was Sir Perard." "I defy thee," said Beaumains, "for I let thee wit I slew him knightly, and not shamefully." Therewithal the Green Knight rode unto a horn that was green, and it hung upon a thorn, and there he blew 3 deadly notes. And there came 2 damsels, and armed him lightly. And then he took a great horse, and a green shield, and a green spear, and then they ran together with all their mights, and brake their spears unto their hands. And then they drew their swords, and gave many sad strokes, and either of them wounded other full ill. And at the last, at an overthwart, Beaumains with his horse struck the Green Knight's horse unto the side, that he fell to the earth. And then the Green Knight avoided his horse lightly, and dressed him upon foot. That saw Beaumains, and therewithal he alighted, and they rushed together like 2 mighty kemps a long while, and sore they bled both. With that came the damsel, and said, "My lord the Green Knight, why for shame stand ye so long fighting with the kitchen knave? Alas, it is shame that ever ye were made knight, to see such a lad to match such a knight, as the weed overgrew the corn." Therewith the Green Knight was ashamed, and therewithal he gave a great stroke of might, and clave his shield through. When Beaumains saw his shield cloven asunder, he was a little ashamed of that stroke, and of her language. And then he gave him such a buffet upon the helm that he fell on his knees, and so suddenly Beaumains pulled him upon the ground grovelling. And then the Green Knight cried him mercy, and yielded him unto Sir Beaumains, and prayed him to slay him not. "All is in vain," said Beaumains, "for thou shalt die, but if this damsel that came with me pray me to save thy life." And therewithal he unlaced his helm, like as he would slay him. "Fie upon thee, false kitchen page! I will never pray thee to save his life, for I will never be so much in thy danger." "Then shall he die," said Beaumains. "Not so hardy, thou bawdy knave," said the damsel, "that thou slay him." "Alas," said the Green Knight, "suffer me not to die, for a fair word may save me." "Fair knight," said the Green Knight, "save my life, and I will forgive thee the death of my brother, and for ever to become thy man, and 30 knights that hold of me for ever shall do you service." "In the devil's name," said the damsel, "that such a bawdy kitchen knave should have thee and 30 knights' service." "Sir Knight," said Beaumains, "all this availeth thee not, but if my damsel speak with me for thy life." And therewithal he made a semblant to slay him. "Let be," said the damsel, "thou bawdy knave, slay him not, for an thou do thou shalt repent it." "Damsel," said Beaumains, "your charge is to me a pleasure, and at your commandment his life shall be saved, and else not." Then he said, "Sir Knight with the green arms, I release thee quit at this damsel's request, for I will not make her wroth. I will fulfill all that she charges me." And then the Green Knight kneeled down, and did him homage with his sword. Then said the damsel, "Me repenteth, Green Knight, of your damage, and of your brother's death, the Black Knight, for of your help I had great mister, for I dread me sore to pass this forest." "Nay, dread you not," said the Green Knight, "for ye shall lodge with me this night, and to morn I shall help you through this forest." So they took their horses, and rode to his manor, which was fast there beside. This damsel's getting kind of old. Like, she can maybe lay off just a little bit. Chapter 9. How the damsel again rebuked Beaumains, and would not suffer him to sit at her table, but called him kitchen boy. And ever she rebuked Beaumains, and would not suffer him to sit at her table. But as the Green Knight took him and sat him at a side table, "Marvel methinketh," said the Green Knight to the damsel, "why ye rebuke this noble knight as ye do. For I warn you, damsel, he is a full noble knight, and I know no knight is able to match him. Therefore ye do great wrong to rebuke him, for he shall do you right good service. For whatsoever he maketh himself, ye shall prove at the end that he is come of a noble blood, and of king's lineage." "Fie, fie," said the damsel, "it is shame for you to say of him such worship." "Truly," said the Green Knight, "it were shame for me to say of him any disworship, for he hath proved himself a better knight than I am. Yet have I met with many knights in my days, and never or this time have I found no knight his match." And so that night they yede unto rest. And all that night the Green Knight commanded 30 knights privily to watch Beaumains, for to keep him from all treason. And so on the morn they all arose, and heard their mass and brake their fast, and then they took their horses and rode on their way, and the Green Knight conveyed them through the forest. And there the Green Knight said, "My lord Beaumains, I and these 30 knights shall be always at your summons, both early and late, at your calling, whither that ever ye will send us." "It is well said," said Beaumains. "When that I call upon you, ye must yield you unto King Arthur, and all your knights." "If that ye so command us, we shall be ready at all times," said the Green Knight. "Fie, fie upon thee in the devil's name," said the damsel, "that any good knights should be obedient unto a kitchen knave." So then departed the Green Knight and the damsel, and then she said unto Beaumains, "Why followest thou me, thou kitchen boy? Cast away thy shield and thy spear, and flee away. Yet I counsel thee betimes, or thou shalt say right soon, alas! For wert thou as white as ever was Wade or Lancelot, Tristram, or the good knight Sir Lamorak, thou shalt not pass a pass here that is called the Pass Perilous." "Damsel," said Beaumains, "who is afeard let them flee. For it were shame to turn against sithen I have ridden so long with you." "Well," said the damsel, "ye shall soon, whether ye will or not." Chapter 10. How the third brother, called the Red Knight, jousted and fought against Beaumains, and how Beaumains overcame him. So, within a while, they saw a tower as white as any snow, all well match cold all about, and double-dyked, and over the tower gate there hung 50 shields of diverse colours, and under that tower there was a fair meadow, and therein were many knights and squires to behold, scaffolds and pavilions, for there upon the morn should be a great tournament. And the lord of the tower was in his castle, and looked out at a window, and saw a damsel, a dwarf, and a knight, armed at all points. "So God help me," said the lord, "with that knight will I joust, for I see that he is a knight errant." And so he armed him, and horsed him hastily. And when he was on horseback, with his shield and his spear, it was all red, both his horse and his harness. And all that to him longeth. And when that he came nigh him, he weened it had been his brother, the Black Knight. And then he cried aloud, "Brother, what do you in these marches?" "Nay, nay," said the damsel, "it is not he. This is but a kitchen knave that was brought up for alms in King Arthur's court." "Nevertheless," said the Red Knight, "I will speak with him, or he depart." "Ah," said the damsel, "this knave hath killed thy brother, and Sir Kay named him Beaumains, and his horse and this harness was thy brother's, the Black Knight. Also I saw thy brother the Green Knight overcome of his hands, Now may ye be revenged upon him, for I may never be quit of him. With this, either knights departed in sunder, and they came together with all their might, and either of their horses fell to the earth, and they avoided their horses, and put their shields afore them, and drew their swords, and either gave other sad strokes. Now here, now there, raising, tracing, foining, and hurling, like two boars the space of 2 hours. And then she cried on high to the Red Knight, Alas, thou noble Red Knight, think what worship hath followed thee. Never let a kitchen knave endure thee so long as he doth. Then the Red Knight waxed wroth, and doubled his strokes, and hurt Beaumains wonderly sore, that the blood ran down to the ground, that it was wonder to see that strong battle. Yet, at the last, Sir Beaumains struck him to the earth, and as he would have slain the Red Knight, he cried mercy, saying, Noble knight, slay me not, and I shall yield me to thee with 50 knights with me, that be at my commandment. And I forgive thee all the despite that thou hast done to me, and the death of my brother the Black Knight. All this availeth not, said Beaumains, but if my damsel pray me to save thy life. And therewith he made semblant to strike off his head. Let be, thou Beaumains, slay him not, for he is a noble knight, and not so hardy. Upon thine head, but thou save him. Then Beaumains bade the Red Knight, Stand up, and thank the damsel now of thy life. Then the Red Knight prayed him to see his castle, and to be there all night. So the damsel then granted him, and there they had merry cheer, but always the damsel spake many foul words unto Beaumains, whereof the Red Knight had great marvel. And all that night the Red Knight made 60 knights to watch Beaumains, that he should have no shame nor villainy. And upon the morn they heard mass and dined, and the Red Knight came before Beaumains with his 60 knights, and there he proffered him his homage, and fealty at all times, he and his knights to do him service. I thank you, said Beaumains, but this ye shall grant me, when I call upon you, to come afore my lord King Arthur, and yield you unto him to be his knights. Sir, said the Red Knight, I will be ready, and my fellowship at your summons. So Sir Beaumains departed, and the damsel, and ever she rode chiding him in the foulest manner. So it seems like only the Black Knight got the short end of the stick. He didn't have a chance to beg mercy or have the damsel save him. Just, offed. And then, but both of his brothers seem to be faring a little bit better. And they both see that Beaumains is definitely better than this damsel is sort of making him out to be. She is a world-class hater. Alright guys, let's take a few minutes. I need to top up my drink and check up on the cats. They've been suspiciously quiet. And we'll be back in just a few minutes when we will resume the adventures of Sir Gareth and see what else there'll be to be found here. Whether the damsel will ever give him a break. Maybe. Alright, be back in just a few minutes, guys. Thanks. All right, we are back. Let's get things switched over, make sure the mic's on there. All right. All right, well, since we are back from our break, I'll go ahead and do the YouTube thing now. We'll switch it up to the middle. So, if you have not, go ahead and drop a like on the stream if you're enjoying what we're doing. Maybe subscribe to the channel. We are trying to grow our little community here. Spread the nice little book club sort of thing we've got going on. And the best way to do that is to manipulate the algorithm to let Google know that we're all right. So, if you could, it'd be great. All right, so let's go ahead now and resume our story, and we'll see if Sir Gareth and his auntie are going to continue on their little journey. So, Chapter 9. How Sir Beaumains suffered great rebukes of the damsel, and he suffered it patiently. Damsel, said Beaumains, ye are uncourteous so to rebuke me as ye do. For meseemeth, I have done you good service, and ever ye threaten me. I shall be beaten with knights that we meet, but ever, for all your boast, they lie in the dust or in the mire. And therefore, I pray you, rebuke me no more. And when ye see me beaten or yielden as recreant, then may ye bid me go from you shamefully. But first, I let you wit, I will not depart from you, for I were worse than a fool, and I would depart from you all the while that I win worship. Well, said she, right soon there shall meet a knight, shall pay thee all thy wages, for he's the most man of worship of the world, except King Arthur. I will well, said Beaumains, the more he is of worship, the more shall be my worship to have ado with him. Then anon, they were where was a fourth. Oh, good Lord. Then anon, they were where was afore them a city rich and fair, and betwixt them and the city 1.5 miles there was a fair meadow that seemed new mown, and therein were many pavilions fair to behold. Lo, said the damsel, yonder is a lord that owneth yonder city, and his custom is, when the weather is fair, to lie in this meadow to joust and tourney, and ever there be about him 500 knights and gentlemen of arms, and there be all manner of games that any gentleman can devise. That goodly lord, said Beaumains, would I fain see. Thou shalt see him time enough, said the damsel. And so, as she rode near, she espied the pavilion where he was. Lo, said she, seest thou yonder pavilion, that is all the colour of Indy, and all manner of thing that there is about, men and women, and horses trapped, shields and spears, were all the colour of Indy. And his name is Sir Persant of Indy. I think that's... Yeah, Google is not even helping me with what Indy is. Oh, hang on. Here we go. Yes, obviously it's an obsolete word. I should know that already. Sorry, just looking and trying to see what the hell Indy is. I imagine it's a color, but my guess is a purple, but there's not a whole lot going on here. Yeah, well, it is what it is. And his name is Sir Persant of Indy, the most lordliest knight that ever thou lookest upon. It may well be, said Beaumains, but be he never so stout a knight, in this field I shall abide till I see him under his shield. Ah, fool, said she, thou wert better flee betimes. Why, said Beaumains, and he be such a knight as ye make him, he will not set upon me with all his men or with his 500 knights. For in there come no more but one at once. I shall him not fail whilst my life lasteth. Fie, fie, said the damsel, that ever such a stinking knave should blow such a boast. Damsel, he said, ye are to blame so to rebuke me, for I had liefer do 5 battles than so to be rebuked. Let him come, and then let him do his worst. Sir, she said, I marvel what thou art, and of what kin thou art come. Boldly thou speakest, and boldly thou hast done, that have I seen. Therefore I pray thee save thyself, and thou mayest. For thy horse and thou have had great travail, and I dread we dwell over long from the siege. For it is but hence 7 mile, and all perilous passages we are past, save all only this passage. And here I dread me sore, lest ye shall catch some hurt. Therefore I would ye were hence, that ye were not bruised nor hurt with this strong knight. But I let you wit that Sir Persant of Inde is nothing of might nor strength unto the knight that laid the siege about my lady. As for that, said Sir Beaumains, be it as it may, for sithen I am come so nigh that this night I will prove his might, or I depart from him. And else I shall be shamed, and I now withdraw me from him. And therefore, damsel, have ye no doubt, by the grace of God, I shall so deal with this knight that within 2 hours after noon I shall deliver him, and then shall we come to the siege by daylight. Oh, Yezel, marvel have I, said the damsel, what manner of man ye be, for it may never be otherwise, but that ye be come of a noble blood. For so foul nor shamefully did never woman rule a knight as I have done you, and ever courteously have ye suffered me, and that came never but of a gentle blood. Damsel, said Beaumains, a knight may little do that may not suffer a damsel. For whatsoever ye said unto me, I took none heed to your words. For the more ye said, the more ye angered me, and my wrath I wreaked upon them that I had ado withal. And therefore all the missaying that ye missayed me furthered me in my battle, and caused me to think to show and prove myself at the end what I was. For peradventure, though I had meat in King Arthur's kitchen, yet I might have had meat enough in other places. But all that I did it for to prove and assay my friends, and that shall be known another day. And whether that I be a gentleman born or none, I let you wit, fair damsel, I have done you gentleman service, and peradventure better service yet will I do, or I depart from you. Alas, she said, Sir fair Beaumains, forgive me all that I have missaid or done against thee. With all my heart, said he, I forgive it you, for ye did nothing but as ye should do. For all your evil words pleased me. And damsel, said Beaumains, since it liketh you to say thus fair unto me, wit ye well it gladdeth my heart greatly. And now meseemeth there is no knight living but I am able enough for him. Okay, yeah, I thought it was purple or an indigo. That makes sense. And yeah, so it seems the damsel has come around, come to realize that maybe there's a little bit more to the kitchen man than she thought. But it took her a while, honestly. And even through it all, he's like, yeah, you know what? A little bit of negging is good for him. Got him angry and feisty. So I guess it worked out, right? Alright, Chapter 12. How Beaumains fought with Sir Persant of Inde, and made him to be yielding. Yeah, this is a peak toxic relationship. Support their rights and their wrongs. Well said. With this, Sir Persant of Inde had espied them as they hoved in the field, and nightly he sent to them whether he came in war or in peace. "Say to thy lord," said Beaumains, "I take no force, but whether as him list himself." So the messenger went again unto Sir Persant, and told him of all his answer. "Well then, will I have ado with him to the utterance." And so he purveyed him, and rode against him. And Beaumains saw him, and made him ready. And there they met with all that ever their horses might run, and brought their spears either in 3 places, and their horses rushed so together that both their horses fell dead to the earth. And lightly they avoided their horses, and put their shields afore them, and drew their swords, and gave many great strokes, that sometime they hurtled together that they fell grovelling on the ground. Thus they fought 2 hours and more, that their shields and their hauberks were all forhewen, and in many steads they were wounded. So at the last Sir Beaumains smote him through the cost of the body, and then he retrayed him here and there, and knightly maintained his battle long time. And at the last, though him loath were, Beaumains smote Sir Persant above upon the helm, that he fell grovelling to the earth. And then he leapt upon him overthwart, and unlaced his helm to have slain him. Then Sir Persant yielded him, and asked him mercy. With that came the damsel, and prayed to save his life. "I will well, for it were pity this noble knight should die." "Mercy," said Persant, "gentle knight and damsel, for certainly now I wot well it was ye that slew my brother the Black Knight at the Black Thorn, and he was a full noble knight. His name was Sir Percard. Also, I am sure that ye are he that won my other brother, the Green Knight. His name was Sir Pertolope. Also, ye won my brother the Red Knight, Sir Paramones. And now, since ye have won these, this shall I do for to please you. Ye shall have homage and fealty of me, and 100 knights to be always at your commandment, to go and ride where ye will command us." And so they went unto Sir Persant's pavilion, and drank the wine, and ate spices, and afterwards Sir Persant made him to rest upon a bed until supper time, and after supper to bed again. When Beaumains was abed, Sir Persant had a lady, a fair daughter of 18 years of age, and there he called her unto him, and charged her and commanded her upon his blessing to go unto the knight's bed, and lie down by his side, and make him no strange cheer, but good cheer, and take him in thine arms, and kiss him, and look that this be done, I charge you, as ye will have my love and my good will. So Sir Persant's daughter did as her father bade her, and so she went unto Sir Beaumains' bed, and privily she despoiled her, and laid her down by him. Then he awoke and saw her, and asked her what she was. "Sir," she said, "I am Sir Persant's daughter, and that by the commandment of my father am come hither." "Be ye a maid or a wife?" said he. "Sir," she said, "I am a clean maiden." "God defend," said he, "that I should defoil you to do Sir Persant such a shame. Therefore, fair damsel, arise out of this bed, or else I will." "Sir," she said, "I came not to you by my own will, but as I was commanded." "Alas," said Sir Beaumains, "I were a shameful knight, and I would do your father any dishworship." And so he kissed her. And so she departed, and came unto Sir Persant her father, and told him how she had sped. "Truly," said Sir Persant, "whatsoever he be, he is come of noble blood." And so we leave them there till on the morn. Chapter 13. Of the goodly communication between Sir Persant and Beaumains, and how he told him that his name was Sir Gareth. But yeah, so before we move on, Beaumains, it's like, you know what? The only woman for me is my damsel. Just like, nope, not having any of this. Don't need a maiden to sneak into the bed. No. I've got my auntie. All right. And so on the morn, the damsel and Sir Beaumains heard mass and brake their fast, and so took their leave. "Fair damsel," said Persant. Whitherward are ye way leading this knight? Sir, she said, this knight is going to the siege that besiegeth my sister in the Castle Dangerous. Ah, said Persant, that is the Knight of the Red Laund, the which is the most perilous knight that I know now living, and a man that is without mercy, and men say that he hath 7 men's strength. God save you, said he to Beaumains, from that knight, for he doth great wrong to that lady, and that is great pity, for she is one of the fairest ladies in the world, and meseemeth that your damsel is her sister. Is not your name Lynette? Said he. Yea, sir, said she, and my lady, my sister's name, is Dame Lyonesse. Now shall I tell you, said Sir Persant, this Red Knight of the Red Laund hath lain long at the siege, well nigh this 2 years, and many times he might have had her, and he had would. But he prolongeth the time to this intent, for to have Sir Launcelot de Lake to do battle with him, or Sir Tristram, or Sir Lamorak de Gallis, or Sir Gawain, and this is his tarrying so long at the siege. Now, my lord Sir Persant of Inde, said the damsel Lynette, I require you that ye will make this gentleman knight, or ever he fight with the Red Knight. I will, with all my heart, said Sir Persant, and it please him to take the order of knighthood of so simple a man as I am. Sir, said Beaumains, I thank you for your goodwill, for I am better sped, for certainly the noble knight Sir Launcelot made me knight. Aha, said Sir Persant, of a more renowned knight might he not be made knight, for of all knights he may be called the chief of knighthood. And so all the world saith, that betwixt 3 knights is departed clearly knighthood. That is, Sir Launcelot de Lake, Sir Tristram de Lyonesse, and Sir Lamorak de Gallis. These bear now the renown. There may be many other knights, as Sir Palomides of the Saracen, and Sir Saphir, his brother, also Sir Bleoberis, and Sir Blamore de Ganys, his brother, also Sir Bors de Ganys, and Sir Ector de Maris, and Sir Percival de Gallis. These and many more be noble knights, but there be none that pass the 3 above said. Therefore, God speed you well, said Sir Persant, for an ye may match the Red Knight, ye shall be called the 4th of the world. Sir, said Beaumains, I would fain be of good fame and of knighthood, and I let you wit I came of good men, for I dare say my father was a noble man, and so that ye will keep it in close, and this damsel, I will tell you of what kin I am. We will not discover you, said they both, till ye command us, by the faith we owe unto God. Truly then, said he, my name is Gareth of Orkney, and King Lot was my father, and my mother is King Arthur's sister. Her name is Dame Morgause. And Sir Gawain is my brother, and Sir Agravain and Sir Gaheris, and I am the youngest of them all. And yet wot not King Arthur, nor Sir Gawain, what I am. Hang on, I need just a moment to snap a quick picture, because my cat is being all sorts of fun. Let me see if I can get this up on stream, because you know what, he's worth it. 1 minute, just a moment. We'll interrupt this nightly perusal. Alright. Over there. It's always quite interesting to move things about. Yep. Not even sorry. Not even a little. If only my email would load, I can pull the picture over there. Go. Alright, now let's get this in. Good lord, that's huge. Hang on. Scaling down, scaling down. Maybe. Working on it. Christ almighty. Base image too big. Almost there. Starting to peak. One of these days, I will figure out how to properly work OBS. But seriously, you see this little man? Making it very hard to be reading along. He is such a ham. He's still there. He's just rolled over a little bit. Back legs kicking my chest, and otherwise he's just like hanging out. This one will probably have to end up on Bluesky. Hymns is having a good night. Alright, let's get back to our reading. We've interrupted our reading, but now we need to return to it. So, we have chapter 14. How the lady that was besieged had word from her sister, how she had brought a knight to fight for her, and what battles he had achieved. So the book saith, that the lady that was besieged had word of her sister's coming by the dwarf, and a knight with her, and how he had passed all the perilous passages. What manner of man is he? Said the lady. He is a noble knight, truly, madam, said the dwarf. And but a young man, but he is as likely a man as ever ye saw any. What is he? Said the damsel. And of what kin is he come? And of whom was he made knight? Madam, said the dwarf, he is the king's son of Orkney, but his name I will not tell you as at this time, but wit ye well, of Sir Lancelot was he made knight. For of none other would he be made knight, and Sir Kay named him Beaumain. How escaped he, said the lady, from the brethren of Persant? Madam, he said, as a noble knight should. First he slew 2 brethren at a passage of a water. Ah, said she, they were good knights, but they were murderers. The one hight Gerard le Bruce, and the other knight hight Sir Arnold le Bruce. Then, madam, he recountered with the Black Knight, and slew him in plain battle. And so he took his horse and his armor, and fought with the Green Knight, and won him in plain battle. And in likewise he served the Red Knight, and after in the same wise he served the Blue... Okay, we switched from India to Blue. Cool. Thanks. And in same wise he served the Blue Knight, and won him in plain battle. Wait. No, wait. Blue... And then... Okay. Yeah. This Arthur fanfic is bouncing all over the place, because I certainly don't remember a Blue Knight. Do you guys? Yeah. RGB and purple. Don't forget the purple. And after, in the same wise, they served the Blue Knight, and won him in plain battle. Then, said the lady, he hath overcome Sir Persant of Inde, one of the noblest knights of the world. And the dwarf said, he hath won all the four brethren, and slain the Black Knight. And yet he did more to four. He overthrew Sir Kay, and left him nigh dead upon the ground. Also, he did a great battle with Sir Launcelot, and there they departed on even hands. And then Sir Launcelot made him knight. Dwarf, said the lady, I am glad of these tidings. Therefore go thou in hermitage of mine hereby, and there shalt thou bear with thee of my wine in 2 flagons of silver. They are of 2 gallons, and also 2 casts of bread with fat venison baked, and dainty fowls, and a cup of gold here I deliver thee, that is rich and precious, and bear all this to mine hermitage, and put it in the hermit's hands, and sithen go thou unto my sister, and greet her well, and commend me unto that gentle knight, and pray him to eat and to drink, and to make him strong, and say ye him, I thank him of his courtesy and goodness, that he would take upon him such labor for me that never did him bounty nor courtesy. Also pray him that he be of good heart and courage, for he shall meet with a full noble knight, but he is neither of bounty, courtesy, nor gentleness, for he attendeth unto nothing but to murder, and that is the cause I cannot praise him nor love him. So this dwarf departed, and came to Sir Persant, where he found the damsel Lynette and Sir Beaumains, and there he told them all as ye have heard. And then they took their leave, but Sir Persant took an ambling hackney and conveyed them on their ways, and then beleft them to God. And so within a little while they came to that hermitage, and there they drank the wine, and ate the venison and the fowl's bacon. And so, when they had repasted them well, the dwarf returned again with his vessel unto the castle again. And there met with him the Red Knight of the Red Lawns, and asked him from whence he came, and where he had been. Sir, said the dwarf, I have been with my lady's sister of this castle, and she hath been at King Arthur's court, and brought a knight with her. Then I account her travail but lost. For though she had brought with her Sir Launcelot, Sir Tristram, Sir Lamorak, or Sir Gawain, I would think myself good enough for them all. It may well be, said the dwarf, but this knight hath passed all the perilous passages, and slain the Black Knight and other 2 more, and won the Green Knight, the Red Knight, and the Blue Knight. Then is he one of these 4 that I have afore rehearsed? He is none of those, said the dwarf, but he is a king's son. What is his name? Said the Red Knight of the Red Lawns. That I will not tell you, said the dwarf, but Sir Kay upon scorn named him Beaumains. I care not, said the knight, what knight soever he be, for I shall soon deliver him. And if I ever match him, he shall have a shameful death, as many other have had. That were pity, said the dwarf, and it is marvel that ye make such shameful war upon noble knights. Next up is chapter 15. How far do we have left in this one? Oh Lord, there's a lot left. This one there's a 35. This is a long book. Chapter 15. How the damsel and Beaumains came to the siege, and came to a sycamore tree, and there Beaumains blew a horn, and then the knight of the Red Lawns came to fight with him. Now leave we the knight and the dwarf, and speak we of Beaumains, that all night lay in the hermitage, and upon the morn he and the damsel Lynette heard their mass and brake their fast. And then they took their horses and rode throughout a fair forest. And then they came to a plain, and saw where were many pavilions and tents, and a fair castle. And there was much smoke and great noise, and when they came near the siege of Sir Beaumains, espied upon great trees. And as he rode, how there hung full goodly armed knights by the neck, and their shields about their necks with their swords, and gilt spurs upon their heels. And so there hung nigh a 40 knights, shamefully, with full rich arms. Then Sir Beaumains abated his countenance and said, "What meaneth this?" "Fair sir," said the damsel, "abate not your cheer for all this sight, for ye must courage yourself, or else ye be all shent. For all these knights came hither to this siege to rescue my sister Dame Lyonesse. And when the Red Knight of the Red Lawns had overcome them, he put them to this shameful death without mercy and pity. And in the same wise he will serve you, but if you quit the better." "Now Jesu defend me," said Beaumains, "from such a villainous death and shenship of arms. For rather than I should be so fair withal, I would rather be slain manly in plain battle." "So were ye better," said the damsel, "for trust not, in him is no courtesy, but all goeth to the dead or shameful murder. And that is pity, for he is a full likely man, well made of body, and a full noble knight of prowess, and a lord of great lands and possessions." "Truly," said Beaumains, "he may well be a good knight, but he useth shameful customs, and it is marvel that he endureth so long that none of the noble knights of my lord Arthur's have not dealt with him." And then they rode to the dikes, and saw them double-diked with full warlike walls. And there were lodged many great lords nigh the walls, and there was great noise of minstrelsy. And the sea beat upon the one side of the walls, and where were many ships and mariners' noise with hail and how, and also there was fast by a sycamore tree. And there hung a horn, the greatest that ever they saw, of an elephant's bone. And this knight of the Red Lawns had hanged it up there, that if there came any errant knight, he must blow that horn, and then will he make him ready and come to him to do battle. "But sir, I pray you," said the damsel Lynette, "blow ye not the horn till it be high noon, for now it is about prime, and now increaseth his might, that as men say he hath 7 men's strength. Ah, fie for shame, fair damsel, say ye never so more to me. For he were as good a knight as ever was. I shall never fail him in his most might, for either I will win worship worshipfully, or die knightly in the field." And therewith he spurred his horse straight to the sycamore tree, and blew the horn so eagerly that all the siege and the castle rang thereof. And then there leapt out knights out of their tents and pavilions, and they within the castle looked over the walls and out at windows. Then the Red Knight of the Red Lawns armed him hastily, and 2 barons set on his spurs upon his heels, and all was blood red. His armor, spear, and shield, and an earl buckled his helm upon his head, and then they brought him a red spear, and a red steed, and so he rode into a little vale under the castle, that all that were in the castle and at the siege might behold the battle. Chapter 16. How the 2 knights met each other, and of their talking, and how they began their battle. "Sir," said the damsel Lynette unto Sir Beaumains, "look ye be glad and light, for yonder is your deadly enemy, and at yonder window is my lady, my sister, Dame Lyonesse." "Where?" said Beaumains. "Yonder," said the damsel, and pointed with her finger. "That is truth," said Beaumains. "She beseemeth afar the fairest lady that ever I looked upon. And truly," he said, "I ask no better quarrel than now for to do battle. For truly, she shall be my lady, and for her I will fight." And ever he looked up to the window with glad countenance, and the Lady Lyonesse made curtsy to him down to the earth, with holding up both their hands. Alright, hold up. Beaumains, you've had the damsel that was constantly talking down at you at your back. You followed her across the countryside, won her over, and she's starting to see what for what you're worth. And then he's like, "But you know what? I'm gonna take your sister." He really is Gawain's brother after all, isn't he? With that, the Red Knight of the Red Lawns called to Sir Beaumains, "Leave, Sir Knight, thy looking, and behold me. I counsel thee, for I warn thee well she is my lady, and for her I have done many strong battles. If thou have so done, said Beaumains, meseemeth it was but waste labour, for she loveth none of thy fellowship, and thou to love that loveth not thee is but great folly. For an I understood that she were not glad of my coming, I would be advised, or I did battle for her. But I understand, by the besieging of this castle, she may forbear thy fellowship. And therefore, wit thou well, thou Red Knight of the Red Lawns, I love her, and will rescue her, or else to die. Sayest thou that, said the Red Knight, meseemeth thou ought of reason to beware of by yonder knights, that thou sawest hang upon yonder trees. Fie, for shame, said Beaumains, that ever thou shouldst say or do so evil, for in that thou shamest thyself in knighthood, and thou mayest be sure there will no lady love thee that knoweth thy wicked customs. And now thou weenest that the might of these hanged knights should fear me. Nay, truly not so. That shameful sight causeth me to have courage and hardiness against thee, more than I would have had against thee an thou wert a well-ruled knight. Make thee ready, said the Red Knight of the Red Lawns, and talk no longer with me. So there are a ton of parallels between all sorts of different fictions here, but the damsel Lynette losing out after having come around is very, very shonen anime cliche-ish. Like, oh, she's a losing heroine. That's all this is. Sorry, that's all it is. Then Sir Beaumains bade the damsel go from him, and then they put their spears in their rests, and came together with all their might that they had both, and either smote other in midst of their shields, that the betrels, surcingles, and cruppers brast, and fell to the earth both, and the reins of their bridles in their hands, and so they lay a great while sore astonied, that all that were in the castle and in the siege weened their necks had been broken. And then many a stranger and others said the strange knight was a big man and a noble jouster. For or now we saw never no knight match the Red Knight of the Red Lawns. Thus they said, both within the castle and without. Then lightly they avoided their horses, and put their shields afore them, and drew their swords, and ran together like two fierce lions, and either gave other such buffets upon their helms that they reeled backward, both 2 strides, and then they recovered both, and hewed great pieces off their harness and their shields, that a great part fell into the fields. Chapter 17. How, after long fighting, Beaumains overcame the knight, and would have slain him, but at the requests of the lords he saved his life, and made him to yield him to the lady. And then thus they fought, till it was past noon, and never would stint, till at the last they lacked wind both, and then they stood wagging and scattering, panting, blowing and bleeding, that all that beheld them for the most part wept for pity. So when they had rested them a while, they yede to battle again, tracing, racing, foining as 2 boars, and at some time they took their run as it had been 2 rams, and hurtled together that sometime they fell grovelling to the earth, and at some time they were so amazed that either took other's sword instead of their own. Thus they endured till evensong time, that there was none that beheld them might know whether it was like to win the battle, and their armor was so forhewn that men might see their naked sides, and in other places they were naked, but ever the naked places they did defend. And the Red Knight was a wily knight of war, and his wily fighting taught Sir Beaumains to be wise. But he abought it full sore, or he did espy his fighting. And thus by assent of them both, they granted either other to rest, and so they set them down upon 2 molehills there beside the fighting place. And either of them unlaced his helm, and took the cold wind, for either of their pages was fast by them, to come when they called to unlace their harness, and to set them on again at their commandment. And then, when Sir Beaumains' helm was off, he looked up to the window, and there he saw the fair lady Dame Lyonesse. And she made him such countenance that his heart waxed light and jolly. And therewith he bade the Red Knight of the Red Lawns make him ready, and let us do the battle to the utterance. I will well, said the knight, and then they laced up their helms, and their pages avoided, and they stepped together and fought freshly. But the Red Knight of the Red Lawns awaited him, and at an overthwart smote smote him within the hand, that his sword fell out of his hand. And yet he gave him another buffet upon the helm, that he fell grovelling to the earth, and the Red Knight fell over him, for to hold him down. Then cried the maiden Lynette on high, "Ah, Sir Beaumains, where is thy courage become? Alas, my lady, my sister, beholdeth thee, and she sobbeth and weepeth, that maketh mine heart heavy." When Sir Beaumains heard her say so, he brayed up with a great might, and gat him upon his feet. And lightly he leapt to his sword, and gripped it in his hand, and doubled his pace unto the Red Knight. And there they fought a new battle together. But Sir Beaumains then doubled his strokes, and smote so thick that he smote the sword out of his hand, and then he smote him upon the helm, that he fell to the earth. And Sir Beaumains fell upon him, and unlaced his helm to have slain him. Then he yielded him, asked mercy, and said with a loud voice, "O noble knight, I yield me to thy mercy." Then Sir Beaumains bethought him upon the knights that had been made to be hanged shamefully. And then he said, "I may not, with my worship, save thy life, for the shameful deaths that thou hast caused many full good knights to die." "Sir," said the Red Knight of the Red Lawns, "hold your hand, and ye shall know the causes why I put them to so shameful a death." "Say on," said Sir Beaumains. "Sir, I loved once a lady, a fair damsel, and she had her brother slain. And she said it was Sir Launcelot de Lake, or else Sir Gawain, and she prayed me, as that I loved her heartily, that I would make her a promise, by the faith of my knighthood, for to labour daily in arms unto I met with one of them, and all that I might overcome, I should put them into a villainous death. And this is the cause that I have put all these knights to death. And so I ensured her to do all the villainy unto King Arthur's knights, and that I should take vengeance upon all these knights. And sir, now I will thee tell that every day my strength increaseth till noon, and all this time I have 7 men's strength." Chapter 18. How the knight yielded him, and how Beaumains made him go unto King Arthur's court, and to cry Sir Launcelot mercy. Then came there many earls and barons and noble knights, and prayed that knight to save his life, and take him to your prisoner. And all they fell upon their knees, and prayed him of mercy, and that he would save his life. And, sir, they all said, it were fairer of him to take homage and fealty, and let him hold his lands of you, than for to slay him. By his death ye shall have none advantage, and his misdeeds that be done may not be undone. And therefore he shall make amends to all parties, and we all will become your men, and do you homage and fealty. Fair lords, said Beaumains, wit you well, I am full loath to slay this knight. Nevertheless, he hath done passing ill and shamefully. But insomuch all that he did was at a lady's request, I blame him the less. And so for your sake I will release him, that he shall have his life upon this covenant, that he go within the castle, and yield him there to the lady. And if she will forgive and quit him, I will well. With this he make her amends of all the trespass he hath done against her and her lands. And also, when that is done, that ye go unto the court of King Arthur, and there that ye ask Sir Launcelot mercy, and Sir Gawain, for the evil will ye have had against them. Sir, said the Red Knight of the Red Lawns, all this will I do as ye command, and cycre assurance, and borrows ye shall have. And so then, when the assurance was made, he made his homage and fealty, and all those earls and barons with him. And then the maiden Lynette came to Sir Beaumains, and unarmed him, and searched his wounds, and stinted his blood. And in likewise she did to the Red Knight of the Red Lawns. And there they sojourned 10 days in their tents. And the Red Knight made his lords and servants to do all the pleasure that they might unto Sir Beaumains. And so within a while the Red Knight of the Red Lawns yede unto the castle, and put him in her grace. And so she received him upon sufficient surety. So all her hurts were well restored of all that she could complain. And then he departed unto the court of King Arthur, and there openly the Red Knight of the Red Lawns put him in the mercy of Sir Launcelot and Sir Gawain. And there he told openly how he was overcome, and by whom, and also he told all the battles from the beginning unto the ending. Yes, mercy, said King Arthur and Sir Gawain, we marvel much of what blood he is come. He is a noble knight. Have ye no marvel, said Sir Launcelot, for ye shall right well wit that he is come of a full noble blood. And as for his might and hardiness, there be but few now living that is so mighty as he is, and so noble of prowess. Seemeth by you, said King Arthur, that ye know his name, and from whence he is come, and of what blood he is. I suppose I do, said Launcelot, or else I would not have given him the order of knighthood. But he gave me such charge at that time that I should never discover him until he required me, or else it be known openly by some other. Chapter 19. How Beaumains came to the lady, and when he came to the castle the gates were closed against him, and of the words that the lady said to him. Now turn we unto Sir Beaumains, that desired of Lynette that he might see her sister, his lady. Sir, she said, I would fain ye saw her. Then Sir Beaumains all armed him, and took his horse and his spear, and rode straight unto the castle. And when he came to the gate, he found there many men armed, and pulled up the drawbridge, and drew the port close. Then marvelled he why they would not suffer him to enter. And they looked up to the window, and there he saw the fair Lyonesse, that said on high, Go thy way, Sir Beaumains, for as yet thou shalt not wholly my love, until the time that thou be called one of the number of the worthy knights, and therefore go labor in worship this 12-month, and then thou shalt hear new tidings. Alas, fair lady, said Beaumains, I have not deserved that ye should show me this strangeness, and I had weened that I should have right good cheer with you. And unto my power I have deserved thank, and well I am sure I have bought your love with part of the best blood within my body. Fair courteous knight, said Dame Lyonesse, be not displeased nor over hasty, for wit you well your guest travail nor good love shall not be lost. For I consider your great travail and labor, your bounty and your goodness as me ought to do, and therefore go on your way, and look that ye be of good comfort. For all shall be for your worship, and for the best. And purdy a 12-month will soon be done, and trust me, fair knight, I shall be true to you, and never to betray you, but to my death I shall love you and none other. And therewithal she turned her from the window, and Sir Beaumains rode awayward from the castle, making great dole, so he rode here and there, and wist not where he rode, till it was dark night. And then it happened him to come to a poor man's house, and there he was harboured all that night. But Sir Beaumains had no rest, but wallowed and writhed for the love of the lady of the castle. And so upon the morrow he took his horse, and rode until underne. And then he came to a broad water, and thereby was a great lodge. And there he alighted to sleep, and laid his head upon the shield, and betook his horse to the dwarf, and commanded him to watch all night. Now turn we to the lady of the same castle, that thought much upon Beaumains. And then she called unto her Sir Gringamore, her brother, and prayed him in all manner, as he loved her heartily, that he would ride after Sir Beaumains, and ever have ye wait upon him, till ye may find him sleeping. I am sure in his heaviness he will alight down in some place, and lie him down to sleep. And therefore have ye your wait upon him, and in the privviest manner ye can, take his dwarf, and go ye your way with him, as fast as ever ye may, or Sir Beaumains awake. For my sister Lynette telleth me that he can tell of what kindred he is come, and what is his right name. And the meanwhile, I and my sister will ride unto your castle to await when ye bring with you the dwarf. And then, when ye have brought him into your castle, I will have him in examination myself, unto the time that I know what is his right name, and of what kindred he is come. Shall I never be merry at my heart? Sister, said Sir Gringamore, all this shall be done after your intent. And so he rode all the other day and the night, till that he found Sir Beaumains lying by a water, and his head upon his shield for to sleep. And then when he saw Sir Beaumains fast asleep, he came stilly stalking behind the dwarf, and plucked him fast under his arm, and so he rode away with him as fast as ever he might unto his own castle. And this Sir Gringamore's arms were all black, and that to him longeth. But ever, as he rode with the dwarf toward his castle, he cried upon his lord and prayed him of help. And therewith awoke Sir Beaumains, and up he leapt lightly, and saw where Sir Gringamore rode his way with the dwarf. And so Sir Gringamore rode out of his sight. Brings us to the end of chapter 19, and we're probably at a good spot to call it for tonight. So, man, I'm not sure which way I want to think about this, because Gareth is fully embracing the White Knight trope, where he's like, oh, I won, I rescued you, I deserve your love. And that's kind of shitty. But Leonos is like, alright, now I want to test you. I want to have you go do a little bit more. Go quest for another year. And that's also kind of shitty. So they kind of deserve each other. I don't know. This just kind of harkens back to, yes, it's a matter of the time, but also the Knights of the Round Table and the Knights in general, kind of a lot of frat boys. Yeah, everyone's bad. So, fun. Alright, guys. This is where we'll call it for the night. Wow, we finished right at 10, actually. So, thank you very much for joining us. We will pick this back up tomorrow, going from chapter 20, while Sir Beaumains is racing after his dwarf. Seems like all the knights have their own dwarf. Who needs squires and pages when you can get a dwarf? I guess it's gainful employment. Yeah. Dad owns a dealership, or Dad's a lawyer in his pink board shorts. Yeah, just get yourself a shorty. Take care of all your needs. Alright, guys, thank you very much for joining us. As I said, we will be reading again tomorrow with our 7th session. We are a little bit more than halfway through now, so we've probably got another, I'd say, a little less than 2 weeks. We'll get through this weekend, and we'll have probably another week after, and we'll get through with the end of Morte d'Arthur, at least volume 1. I am probably not prepared to hunt down and dig through volume 2. This is a lot more than I thought already. So, we'll see you again till next time. Thank you very much, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful night. Yeah, bye now.